Gold has surged once again to a new all-time high, but the question now becomes, can it sustain this upward trajectory? Where is gold and silver going to go from here? Let's get into it. SD Bullion is giving away a monster box of 2024 Tree of Life silver coins. Sign up today at sdbullion.com/sweepstakes. Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. Before we get into silver and gold, I first want to say today is Friday, but it's not an ordinary Friday. Today is Good Friday. And why is today good? Well, Easter is right around the corner. So, as Phil Wickham has said, Friday's good because Sunday is coming. Friday, the day that Jesus died for our sins, and Sunday, or Easter Sunday, is the day that he rose from the grave. So, it is a very special Friday today, and in fact, the markets are closed. So, silver spot price, gold spot price, the stock market, it's not going to change today because the market is not open. However, it should open on Sunday night, as it normally does, over in China, and we'll see the numbers start moving then. But as for now, we're looking at gold. This is the one-week chart, and yes, gold is sitting at a new all-time high. The number is $2,243.42. So gold has been crushing it this week, up almost $44 yesterday, a 2% climb. Silver still doing well, but not as well as gold. You can see here silver is sitting at $25.15. It moved up 38 cents yesterday, only a 1.55% climb. So gold moved up faster than silver. Very, very interesting. Although silver is now up over $25 an ounce once again, so both of them made decent gains to end out the week. Why did gold and silver move up yesterday? It's actually pretty interesting because when we look at the dollar, you can see that the dollar moved up as well. Now, I know right here it's in the red, but that's not telling the full story. So when we go to early Thursday, we can see the dollar index was around 104.3, and it actually ended at 104.6. So the dollar moved up and precious metals moved up at the same time. This is abnormal. Something weird must have happened yesterday. It was kind of a perfect storm because it was the last trading day of the week, of the month, and of the quarter. So there was an incredible amount of economic data that was released yesterday. You can see 85 events. If we go 1 week prior, March 21st, 30 economic events. I mean, the whole week combined barely had 85 events. So with all of this information coming out, it definitely gave the markets something to chew on, and they sided in favor of the dollar and in favor of precious metals. Now, there was some big inflation data which came out today. U.S. core PCE rises 0.3% in February, in line with expectations. The report said headline inflation rose 0.3% last month, a tick lower than expected. Economists were looking for a 0.4% increase for the year. Headline inflation rose 2.5%, in line with consensus projections. So this data was actually good for precious metals because it did signal to the Fed it is okay to start lowering rates. You don't need to change anything drastically. I mean, look down here. They write, according to some economists, the inline inflation data could support the Federal Reserve's plan to begin its easing cycle in June, even as inflation remains elevated. So there you go. This is super bullish for precious metals. And because the markets are closed today, they have not even had a chance to react to this news. I wonder what's going to happen on Monday. Now, there is quite a bit of economic data coming out next week as well. So we definitely can expect to see some volatility when it comes to precious metals prices. But right now, it seems like gold and silver are on the way up. According to the World Gold Council, central banks are buying up record amounts of gold, and they're not slowing down. China in the lead, buying more gold than any other central bank, Poland in second. Obviously, with the Russia-Ukraine war right next door, they're trying to get some stability with their currency. And with all of this gold buying, it's helping to push the price of gold higher and higher. Also, with mainstream media continuing to cover gold's climb, there is no telling when this rally will end. Now let's take a look at the FedWatch tool. This is one of my favorite things to look at when it comes to precious metals prices and where they could go from here, because once the Fed starts cutting rates, this is typically when we see gold and silver really start to take off. So at the May 1st meeting, CME Group is predicting no rate cut, 96% chance that rates are going to stay the same. However, in June, they're saying 36% chance that rates remain unchanged, over a 60% chance that we see the first rate cut in June. So if this does happen, if they start lowering rates in early summer, then the rally in precious metals could really take off from there. I mean, if they do 3 rate cuts this year, that could be super bullish for both gold and silver. And really, I mean, this rally seems to just be getting started. Even though gold is at an all-time high, I don't think this is it by any stretch of the imagination. I think that there are so many factors which play into gold continuing to go up. Not only do we have the Fed cutting rates and the dollar potentially getting dramatically weaker this year, next year, and throughout this whole decade, but we also have central banks buying up record amounts of gold. The general public is just starting to think about gold once again. We have not even begun to start that mania phase when we see all of the retail investors buying up as much as they can. So I think we're still in the early stages for gold. Now, when it comes to silver, I don't even think we've really gotten started yet. I think this is kind of the bottom for silver. I mean, $25 an ounce. Silver is basically at half of its all-time high. Now, this isn't a huge surprise because typically we see gold go first and silver will follow sometime after. So I'm thinking probably in the summer, maybe the fall, at least by the winter, we're going to see the big rally in silver start. And once we do get to that mania phase for precious metals, which may take a year, it may take a couple of years, then silver can really get explosive and we could see some numbers that we haven't even dreamed about in decades. All this to say, we haven't even really begun to talk about geopolitical events and how things could worsen on that front, and there could be a lot of fear driving money into precious metals as the years move on. Now, when I look at gold and silver, I look at it as a long-term investment. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is something I want to buy and hold for decades. So whether silver and gold spike this year, next year, in the next few years, I don't plan on selling any of mine. I'm still trying to acquire more because ultimately I would rather be holding real money than some fiat paper that is made by man and destined to fail. Anyway, let me know what you think of the rally in gold with the new all-time high price. Feel free to put your comments down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.